concentrate on the draw. Forgive me till I just couldn't take anymore.
Welcome to the Bear Pit Pod. The last one. It's been a long old slog.
This is the last one. We're done after this.
Last one of the season.
Yeah.
So to say.
Yeah. So it's the second podcast we've done now since relegation. Do you feel any different to you to last week?
Well,
Is it sunk in?
I've actually got it in my notes that I've completely accepted it now.
Have you?
Completely.
I'm
looking forward to it. I've even got the cap. Make Stoke Prem again.
Yeah.
Rocking it, Craig.
Rocking it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm still in denial. I mean, obviously we have gone down, but I'm still kind of. You briefly forget when you look at like a established Premier League club. You think, oh, we play them next year. I saw a picture of Spurs' new ground on social media. Where oh, that'd be good to go there next year.
We're not.
Championship.
So that's when it hits you.
Yeah. So it's little things like that.
The one that hit me was someone tweeted the date or the dates for the Premier League season will be released on the I think it's June 14th. I went to figure, put it in my calendar, and then I thought, don't need that one.
I think that will be the biggest slap across the face is the fixture list when that is revealed, and you kind of look down a division, you see clubs that you've not played for the best part of a decade. You're like, shit, we did actually get relegated.
But looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an exciting ride. Obviously, there's a lot that needs to happen until the start of the season.
I mean, there's a lot of question marks floating above the club. My biggest fear is we end up just drifting into this mid-table nothingness. We do an Ipswich of finishing mid-table for about 10 seasons. That's my biggest fear. But time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Well, let's start off with the game at the weekend.
We won.
We won away. It's a bit late now, lads.
We won away. I was almost annoyed because I went to Watford away and we were down anyway. I'm tongue-in-cheek here before anyone comments. But anyway, I went to Watford away. My little claim to fame the season was I went to the only away victory. And I missed Swansea.
Yeah, we both went to that.
I had to give away my ticket. Yes, I went to the only away victory this season.
Wait, did you sell your ticket from someone listening to the pod or not?
No.
You were actively selling it?
No. Well, I had a dilemma before. If it meant something, it's my girlfriend's birthday on that day and her family was coming down, so I managed to convince her that I need to go to the game if it's make or break. But I said, look, if it isn't, if we're down, I'll give up the game. So I had to go for that option in the end. £85 return on the train as well. I couldn't justify it. I don't know what my point was. Oh yeah. I was happy that I originally was going to the only away victory this season. But now we're being Swansea. Gone. Miserable bastard, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's all they had.
The starting 11 was Butland, Bowers, Shaw, Cross, Zuma, Peters. The surprise was Lasse Sorensen, the academy player who started in central midfield with Alan Badu and then Shaqiri Crouch Diouf.
Yeah. I mean, I did the first 11 preview video, didn't I, for Bear?
You didn't guess Sorensen, did you?
No chance, no. I don't know what to make of the team. I mean, half them players won't be there next year. There's not too much you can really learn from. The only one we can learn from is Sorensen, who had a decent debut. It's a difficult game to analyse, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what we're going to draw from this.
Well, I'll start you off then instead.
Good,
Alan came off almost immediately. I think it was 8 minutes in.
Yeah, Fletcher come on
in his place. And then we went 1-0 down quite early on again.
Really poor defending.
Just split like the Red Sea.
It wasn't even that, it was a poor clearance from Ryan, wasn't it? Everyone loves Ryan.
Ayew straight through the middle. Neat finish past Jack. I don't know if Jack could have done better, I don't know.
He seemed a little bit rooted.
He was on one knee. He ended up on one knee.
Yeah, there was no attempt to kind of go towards the ball.
I don't know if we're at this point because he's made a couple of mistakes, but now we're over-analysing Jack's saves, etc. And then it was a pretty open game. Yeah, it was like end to end at times, and obviously no one had anything to play for, and it certainly played out that way in parts. And then a quicker counter attack, which we've never fucking done. It seems this season. The one we've done. Save it till the end. And Shaqiri with a splitting pass through the defence.
Great run from Ndiaye as well.
Great run from Badu with a lob just over the keeper. Yeah, got an hand to it, but not enough.
Me being a negative bastard again. When he scored that, my first thought was, well, initially I believe he scored, but then I thought, oh God, it's just going to put him in the shop window. It's going to kind of instill this thought in him that I can get a move, and it will certainly kind of put his name out there just before the summer. And I was almost annoyed he'd scored it, because I really, really, really would love to keep him. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think his performances and goals are going to keep him here.
Yeah, relegation clauses.
Well, yeah, we'll get onto that, will we?
All that. And then after that, just before the half time, we won a free kick out wide, and strangely enough, the senior players gave it to Sorensen. This is one I thought, Shaqiri would be on this. Yeah. Whipping it in. Yeah. Lasse Sorensen takes it. Yeah. I mean, they must have some confidence in the lad.
Yeah. It was a great ball. Great ball, right in that kind of sweet spot between the defence and keeper. And it was a good header from Crouch, good reaction header from Crouch. And me again. As soon as Crouch is good, I thought, don't put yourself in the short window, Crouch.
You just didn't want anyone to
remain
do anything,
anonymous. Yeah, I did honestly think that. I don't know if I'm being a bit over the top with this sort of thinking, maybe, but yeah, you can tell it was a relevant game. That sort of stuff was crossing my mind a bit, but good cross.
Great ball, then. And he had a great game.
Yeah, he did.
Played very well.
He did. It's a bit unusual after that performance that it did take him so long to get that sort of game time.
Again, this is another one we've got no idea with these academy players.
Yeah.
I mean, they're either used in games where, I think I've seen a tweet, I can't remember who did it, apologies for not remembering who it was, but I saw a tweet where Tom Edwards, done in a nothing game against Man City away, got man of the match, but never be seen again, hardly.
Yeah.
Lasse Sorensen, again, we're already down, so he starts playing. Campbell, smash him in for the under-23s, just gets a few sub-appearances here and there. So it's... they're not being used in confidence. They're used in nothing games, really.
Yeah,
dead rubber.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And it's weird because Lambert's obviously struggled with this left-hand midfield side. The fact we're playing a right back there for quite a while, and I don't know. It seems like there was a reasonable replacement there in Sorensen. A bit odd that he's not used him early, but I don't know. Maybe he was just relaxed knowing it was a relegation game and it didn't really matter. And he could perform with a bit of ease.
And at half-time, with it being 2-1 to us, and also elsewhere, Man City 0-0 with Southampton, that meant that Mark Hughes wasn't going down, like some of us had hoped.
That was a bit. I heard that he got
would you have on a different note? Would you have taken that? Would you have taken a 6-0 loss and Man City won 4-0 if it meant Mark Hughes going down?
As much as I wanted Mark Hughes to go down, no, because when you boil everything down, I'm here to watch. Despite what I was jokingly saying at the start of the podcast, I always want Stoke to win, regardless of the circumstances. I don't really care if it. It means someone else will go down that we don't like, or it screws over an ex-manager player. And the bottom line is, when you're listening or watching a Stoke game, your natural emotions come through, and I don't give a shit about it. But it still hurts that he stayed up. Apparently, he's got £1 million bonus for staying up.
Yeah, I think Paul Lambert's would have been similar.
It's crazy because I feel like he's sent us down. He has sent us down. He sent us down.
There's no dicing or dancing around that.
He couldn't have planned this better, and then he jumped ship. Does a bit of a job at Southampton. He's got £1 million in his back pocket. It's infuriating.
And he'd have had a payout from us for sacking him.
Yeah, I know. Football is the kind of the cliche comment at the moment is you're rewarding failure. He got paid for being sacked for not doing the job he was asked to do. Gets a new job and gets a bonus for doing a job. It's so frustrating.
It's bad, isn't it?
It's so frustrating to know that you've got match for
old
next
boys
year.
club and all these managers that just get paid, sacked, doing enough
roundabout, yeah.
But we did come back out after the off, and we won a penalty quite early on. Crouchy brings it down in the box after, I don't know who put the ball in. Can you remember who put the ball in?
I think it was Peters.
Yeah. Brings it down his chest, tries to play it across the box, clear on ball, clear as day.
Yeah.
Shaqiri steps up and gets it saved, and I think that we haven't scored any penalty we've had this season.
We've missed the last 4.
Yeah, missed the last 4.
Which was Shaq, Charlie Adam, Berahino, and then I think Arnautovic at Swansea last year as well.
Right.
Missed 4 penalties.
And we've missed every penalty this season.
That's shocking. We missed every pen this season. And I read a stat in the Sentinel today as well that we've not saved a penalty since 2010.
Jesus.
2010? Which is Begovic.
Just you.
I think.
No, sorry. You mean just the league there?
Just
obviously Jack.
Yeah, we had the cup.
That was a penalty shootout.
Penalty shootout.
So
that seemed like
it.
In open play penalty anyway. I think it was Tommy saved one in 2010.
Jesus.
Do you want another bad stat?
Asmir and Jack have never been good for
They've not, have they?
Penalties.
I read another stat which is depressing. We've not scored a meaningful goal post 87 minutes since...
Well, we were on about this. When was the last time that we scored late on to...
I think it's
change a game?
2 years. We've not scored a goal that either converts a draw to a win or a loss to a draw.
87th onwards.
Post 87 minutes. That says says so much about the fitness.
And is the last... Because when we were on about this previously, I think someone came up with a reply. I think is the last Managerial against West Ham.
2 years. Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Yeah.
That seems like a lifetime ago. An absolute lifetime ago. That does. I look back on that game sometimes because that just pushes into 9th in Hughes' 3rd season. When we were having a poor end of the season, I think if we'd have lost that, we'd have been comfortably lower mid. And who knows what it might have got the board thinking, this is not quite as rosy as we think. But everyone quotes 3 9th place finishes.
Yeah.
Let's not dress this up. The 3rd season of the Hughes wasn't that great. especially the tail end was awful from what I remember.
Yeah.
I do worry if that kind of glossed things over a little bit at the time.
Definitely.
Don't know.
After that, there was a pretty scrappy game. Fouls here and there. Wasn't too much more action, but Jack did make some tremendous saves in the game. I think that's worth noting.
He did, and of course Pickford over at West Ham Everton made an absolute howler. Going into the World Cup, you can't help but think.
Was it on Arnautovic?
I think it was. It was. Yeah,
it was on Arnautovic. Straight at him, and he somehow ducked.
Yeah,
and got under it.
Yeah, you suspect some dodgy betting things going on the way he bloody got out of the way.
It was
some
a weird one
sort of thing.
Best players then from the game. Obviously, I think you've got to put Badu in there.
Yeah, Badu. Crouchy. I think Sorensen for a debut, you've got to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Butland, again, I'm not sure if we're looking for an error in their goal, but generally had a really good performance, made some cracking saves. It was a reasonably competent display, I feel. I mean, we're under the cosh a little bit, and it's very difficult to judge it because of the circumstances, but it's a win, I suppose. We weren't bottom. Brilliant.
Take it. Worst?
Fletcher's a little... Well,
Fletcher, yeah.
Tad anonymous, I suppose, but... I don't know. I feel like I'm repeating myself every time we come to worst player.
Juve.
It's Juve. Always a bit of a shrug of the shoulder in the sense that everyone was all right without being too bad. It's just a little bit ambient.
Okay, we'll leave that one.
Yeah.
Man of the match.
I'm gonna give it a Sorensen.
Are you?
Just because I'm feeling kind. Yeah, debut and all that, set up a goal. I mean, it probably wasn't, but
okay, I'll go with Badu.
Badu, yeah. I'm being a bit kind to a debut there.
So that's the match covered. Obviously, a few things came out from after the match. Obviously, there was the reports before the game and the week leading up to it that this would be the make or break game for Lambert. You know, the board,
which I think is a weird thing to do because it's a nothing game. You can't decide.
Very strange if reports are to be believed.
Yeah.
There was, of course, what was I going to say? There was, of course, that it was 50-50, and there's still been, so to say as it stands, no backing or no clear decision on what we're going to do with the manager. Paul Lambert came out after the game and he said, I would have paid to watch Delilah at the end. The club has been great support. The club has great support behind it. My God, it was absolutely unbelievable. And then the news came out from the Sentinel later on that night or the day after, said Stoke City are unlikely to make a decision on manager Paul Lambert in the very near future. His own position appears to remain fluid. However, for as long as the club declines to make his position absolutely clear.
I mean, that is so ambiguous and vague.
It is.
I think Ryan came out in the press as well and he said we need a manager in place and 3/4 of the squad comfortably before pre-season.
Well, yeah, I mean, going
comfortably.
I think even now, I think this deliberation
I agree.
is not helping.
We've been here before, haven't we, with the board? We've been here before with Hughes, and already now I'm a bit frustrated that there's not kind of a decision being made. I hope they're waiting for things to drop if they do want. I think, truth be told, they're waiting for managers to drop, and that's why they're being vague.
And Moyes have dropped.
And they don't want to upset Lambert because it would be it would knock him slightly if they come out and said, right, we're after this person, but if we don't get him, we're going to stick with Lambert. So they've got to be a bit neutral in that sense. But then that already kind of, I mean, if Lambert can read between the lines and just assume what we're assuming, it's naturally going to get him thinking, well, am I wanted here? And what sort of preference is that?
And if other reports are to be believed, he can end that contract.
Yeah, he could do it. I mean, I really doubt he would. I mean, he's not really got offers coming left, right and centre as at the moment, but I don't know, it's frustratingly vague. I feel like history's repeating itself a little bit in relation to not sacking Hughes early enough. It's frustrating. I want an answer quick. I want something. I want us set before the World Cup.
We're either going to be behind him or we're not.
Yeah.
We're either getting someone in or we aren't.
I mean, he was third choice originally.
Yeah.
It looks like he's not first choice again.
I mean, there's options out there. I mean, as we say, Allardyce has just been sacked. Moyes is free.
Yeah.
Even if you want to go back to like Kike Sanchez Flores, who they were after previously, he's available.
Graham Potter as well.
Graham Potter.
I still think Martin O'Neill, it would have been a great signing. I'm not saying he'd come now in the Championship, but there's options there. Definitely after today with Moyes and Sam Allardyce being sacked, there are options there.
It does seem like they were sitting on it.
Yeah, and you can't help but think they were waiting for Moyes, Allardyce, or even Pulis to become available.
Really, Pulis?
If Borough didn't go up. I mean,
they haven't.
Yeah, exactly. I got knocked out last night. So I'm pure speculation. But I think they're waiting on them
Pulis
three.
for the third. Reich.
I'd have it, after what we've seen recently and all the disciplinary problems, I'd welcome Pulis back. I know it split the fans, but he did instill some heart and soul into the club. And
appointments like Allardyce would split the fans.
Yeah, they would. At least you'd know with Pulis what you kind of the positives you're getting. Allardyce kind of Stoke's a bit unknown. Another thing that I heard, and I think it's quite a well-known rumour now, is that if Hughes had lost to Watford away in our first away victory this season, apparently Moyes was on the verge of signing to become our manager. Right. That's a rumour I've heard several times. If true, it obviously shows that the board are keen on him. They kind of like him as a manager, and the fact that his job at West Ham was on the edge, and they put out this vague statement, and now he's available. If you're putting 2 and 2 together, it could
18.
mean David Moyes. 18, yeah, exactly. I don't know.
You never know. Never know if that is to be believed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so on the fence about Lambert. It's unreal. I like him as a bloke. I think he speaks well.
He says all the right things.
He shows passion. He ticks all the boxes. But then you look quite simply at the
results.
The results 1, 2 in 15. And frustratingly, I look back on it. I'm not for 1 second saying we shouldn't have got rid of Hughes because we should have done. But I can't help but think Hughes would have won more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you look at some of the fixtures we've had, which is really worrying and frustrating. I'm not saying we shouldn't have got rid of Hughes. I'm saying we should have replaced him better. You can't help but think that at the moment.
Well, he was our fourth choice.
Yeah, he was.
Also, shout out Gary Rowett, who
we'll be playing
turned
next
us
season.
down and will be playing next season.
Yeah.
Also, I think we should give a shout out to the fans from the game at the weekend because it was absolutely unbelievable support.
Very jealous didn't go, to be honest.
Unbelievable support. I mean, the Delilah at the end that Paul Lambert spoke about as well, which I've watched on TV and heard, is absolutely unbelievable. The constant singing throughout, the atmosphere, the smoke bombs in the concourse, everything that I've seen. There's pictures on PA images that I've sent to a couple of people who are out just giving it absolute caution in the stands. But it was an absolute credit to the club, and I think Swansea fans had a newfound respect from us. I've seen so many tweets and messages from Swansea fans saying about bloody hell, can't wait to play you next season, lads. Yeah, strange.
I mean, you got to take that stuff, haven't you? I mean, Alex, I wish I'd gone that one. I really do. I was a bit stuck. I wish I'd gone it. It's handed a right laugh, but
relegation parties, we know better. If we go down to League One, we're there.
We'll be there, yeah.
Obviously, there's now going to be some sort of exodus from the club. Big players, your Butlins, your Shacks. Butland said this pretty soon after the game at the weekend. I'd like nothing more than to see this club back in the Premier League. If I'm a part of that, brilliant. If I'm not, and things go different ways, then they do. I don't know what will happen, but I'm proud to be part of this club and always have been.
I mean, it's neutral. It's sort of like a political sort of on the fence statement, but surely Butland will go.
You'd think so.
And as I said last podcast, I think we need him to go to help fund our promotion charge. And I think I've seen us linked with is it Gunn?
Yeah. So I was going to go on to that. I've just accidentally deleted all my notes, but
have you?
Yeah, I'll get it back.
Yeah.
So Jack Butland obviously is off. I did have this bit for later on in the podcast, but we may as well mention it now since we're talking about Jack. He's been announced in the World Cup squad today. So he's definitely off to the World Cup. Yeah. Will some club try and action him something before he has the chance to impress? Could we see him move pretty soon? Yeah. That is a genuine concern or worry.
I hope that he starts and plays the World Cup as a Stoke player, because that will only increase his value.
Yeah.
And I think he will
at it that way.
Yeah, 100%. I think I'd be disappointed if we got under 30 for him. Very disappointed. I think a World Cup start whilst at Stoke officially does the world of good in terms of valuation.
Do you want to have someone in sooner though if you've got to get a replacement?
I think they know Jack's going. They'll be working already. 100%, no doubt at all. They'll be working at. They know Jack's going.
I'm going to give a quick run through of the actual full England squad as well, because over the summer I'm going to be out in Russia, so there's a chance to probably turn the channel into a little bit of a England channel and Stoke channel. We'll obviously be supporting Jack out there. Who isn't going to get caught up in World Cup fever? I know a lot of people hate England, but end of the day,
the World Cup's
football's
phenomenal.
on. It's the
World
summer.
Cup is
You're going to be involved. So this is the full squad anyway. Alexander-Arnold, Kane, Rose, Butland, Lingard, Sterling, Cahill, Loftus-Cheek, Stones, Dele Alli, Maguire, Trippier, Delph, Pickford, Vardy, Deer, Pope, Walker, Henderson, Rashford, Welbeck, Jones, Young. The one that stands out for me that shouldn't be there is Welbeck.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, he's a little bit different from what we've gone. He's kind of that target man. He's strong on the ball, but
for me, if you're taking Welbeck and you've already got other strikers in there, you've got Kane, you've got Vardy, you've got obviously Sterling who can play up top. Who else have we got in there that's a striker? Rashford. I think there's too many of the similar mould. You could have taken
I think Welbeck's
a tall... I'm not saying Peter Crouch.
No.
Even though that would have been brilliant. An Andy Carroll.
I do know what you mean a little
Glenn
bit.
Murray or a Charlie Austin. I don't know. I'm just throwing names in.
I know.
But there's Welbeck and the rest of them are of a similar mould.
I think Welbeck is ever so slightly different to them. I just think he's a bit more of a target man as compared to someone like Kane or Vardy or well, there's no one else, is there? We are missing that big threat, that big presence up front. But I don't really know who that is.
It's a very young side.
Yeah.
It's a young side.
Yeah.
I suppose we can look at it the fact that we've got some Premier League winning players in there. You've got your Sterling, you've got your Walker, you've got Stones, you've got Delph.
So what I do notice about this team, this squad rather, and I don't know if it's not really been a frequent trait of previous squads, how irregular some of them play for their clubs.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
Of
Stones, you do Delph as well. There's so many players there.
Phil
Jones that aren't regularly starting first for their club. I just think that's a weird foundation to go to a World Cup in. I think our first 11 could feature loads of bit part players. I just think that's a bit unusual.
I think the other key notable absentee is Jack Wilshere. I know that's caused a lot of stir.
I would have taken Jack Wilshere.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely. I know he's generally not liked and all the rest of it, but when you look at his footballing ability, I think he's made 38 appearances this year, which would suggest he's starting to address his injury-prone past a little bit. And I think Wilshere on his game is one of the better England players.
No, I agree.
I would have definitely taken Wilshere.
I mean, Delph's in the squad, and I can't argue that he isn't. He's a title-winning player who's played
Stoke almost got Delph in the stomach.
We nearly did, yeah. I think we were haggling over a couple of million.
Charlie Adams said don't go.
Yeah, and that.
Yeah.
He's played for a title-winning side consistently. He's played consistently well under Pep, and he can play a number of positions. So you can see him as a utility player in the England squad. But he's been named in the midfield section, and that's pissed a lot of people off on Wilshere. Lallana hasn't gone either.
Yeah, I get Lallana. I mean, you can't take Lallana. He's not fit enough at all. Wilshere, despite his injury-prone past, he has featured 38 times this year. I think he's got a bit more attacking prowess about him. I would have taken Wilshere.
I think the most exciting, there wasn't any shocks. There wasn't your Jordan Sancho from Dortmund. There wasn't Ryan Sessegnon from Fulham, who were the shock contenders. I mean, I'd love to have seen Sessegnon in there myself.
Yeah, maybe a bit left field, being championship and all that, but
player scooped all the championship awards.
Yeah,
no doubt going to have a big money move this summer
if
Fulham don't go up.
Yeah,
but the notable person in there for me is Loftus-Cheek. I think he could do a lot.
Yeah, I think he's a good player.
Been very.
He's a good player.
I think he's been very good.
We're not going to win it, but I think we can have I think we can probably get to the quarters with a bit of luck, and semi-final maybe with even more luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, just enjoy it, get behind and all the rest of it.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. There's also obviously been some news. Sorry about that England bit. I know people don't like England sometimes. Like I say, World Cup's going to be coming. Just get in the mood for it. Just get in the mood. Yeah. Mail Sport say that because Jack Butland is off, that we're looking, as you mentioned, to sign Angus Gunn on loan. Obviously spent the season at Norwich.
Mm-hmm. I don't know enough about him really. I mean, can you shed any light? Has he performed well? Is he?
I think he's performed well. I think he's highly regarded by Man City. I think the only problem we've got there is that they may want him to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he might have aspirations to play at a high level now. Now he's done a season in the Championship.
Maybe.
In Norwich. I think that's the only worry for us. But if reports are to be believed, then I think that it could be a loan with like a 10 million buy clause or something along those lines, and that might sway it.
Yeah.
Or if we went straight in and brought him, brought him off the bat.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
I think it'd be a reasonable sign. Championship experience.
And for all those listeners who do pay attention, obviously I mentioned this a very long time ago, if you can remember.
Did you?
Can you remember? Can you remember when I mentioned about Angus Gunn?
I think you're making it up.
No.
I'm
making it up.
Don't
Must be making it up. Team Talk claimed that Tottenham have inquired about Shaqiri as well because of his 12 million release clause.
Are we getting on to relegation clauses now? Should we jump into that?
Do it.
12 million quid?
Yeah.
I mean, when we signed him, you could almost appreciate that if it was a case of he's not coming unless you put this in, fine. But 12 million quid. I'm really starting to worry now because I think there's apparently Ndai's got like a similar sort of break clause that we're not going to make any money or profit on him. And originally in my mind for Allen, Shaq and Butland we were going to get like 60 million comfortably.
Yeah,
I'm starting to worry now that we're going to scrape by into like 30 or something stupid. Someone at the club, and we've been over this, haven't we? Scholes, specifically Scholes. He's directly involved in this sort of stuff, isn't he? 12 million quid for Shaq in this market, when you consider some of the ludicrous like transfer fees that have occurred. Like stupid money's been spent.
It'd be criminal.
Van Dijk, 75 million off the top of my head. Shaq, for his faults, is a quality footballer, and I think the world knows that. He always scores a spectacular goal, always gets the press and the headlines. I think you could get 25 plus for Shaq, easy, without a clause. Easy. Probably a bit more. 12 million would be an absolute stitch.
But the Italian, Spanish teams all over him for that price.
It's frustrating. 12. It's frustrating. That'll make me feel sick if we lose him for 12.
I don't know if it's in there because there was never any thought of even going down.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe it was a case of, look, surely if we're going to progress as a club, we need to consider relegation is behind us now. And that's obviously going tits up. Joe Allen's apparently got one as well, has he? 25 million if it's a top six.
And it can't be Liverpool.
No one from the top six is going to go for Allen. No chance.
I don't think so.
Which leaves you with West Ham or Everton sorts that might go in for him. And then I think even then you're going to be looking at 25 to 30. How much were we buying for? 12-ish, wasn't it?
12, 15.
Something like that. Yeah,
should make a profit.
I'm pinning all my hopes on Jack to bring in the big bucks.
Yeah.
Especially if he starts for England at World Cup.
And lastly, some good transfer news. Well, I suppose you could look at it like that. Hanover are confident they can lure Kevin Wimmer to the Bundesliga.
Yeah, how much?
They haven't said a fee.
They can lure him.
But their manager said, we could probably convince him to come to us, but there is also his club.
Get rid of him.
Any cost. Just give him for free.
Well, to a point, we did spend, for the millionth time, I'm going to quote it on this podcast, in absolute disgust, we did spend 18 million on him. I feel a bit queasy saying it still. So it would be foolish to kind of just get rid of him at any cost. For we need... I don't know what's worse, losing him for 3 million or just keeping him and letting him rot in the reserves and not be fit. I don't know, but I pray that we can claw back a little bit of that transfer fee. All I know is that Spurs have had their pants down, especially if they get Shaq for 12.
Well, yeah, that'd be fucking awful.
If it turns out that they buy Shaq for 12 and they sold us Wimmer for 18 million, that's got to be the worst sort of two-way business in the club's history.
That's Daniel Levy being a very good businessman.
Yeah.
Basically. Lastly, before we get onto the people's questions, I was going to also mention the Radio Stoke montage. I don't know if you saw this.
You know what? I started watching it. And
Did you have to stop?
Well, yeah. Not that it was filling up around, but I just thought I can't be asked to watch that because it'll depress me. Yeah. And I stopped it like 20 seconds in before I'm glum enough about this relegation, about this. I might watch it if we get promoted.
You were probably right to start yourself. We put it out on the page. Someone took it from Radio Stoke and put it together with some pictures and stuff on YouTube, and I think it was at SCFC Mill, if you want to go and follow him. And yeah, there was players reacting on Twitter. I think Liam Lawrence, Matt Etherington, whoever else it might have been. But yeah, it really did make you think and appreciate the 10 years.
It's just gone like that, hasn't it? I can't believe it's been 10 years. It just blows my mind.
Absolutely flown. I remember as if it was yesterday running on the pitch when we drew 0-0 with Leicester to get a goal.
Yeah, and that little clip's been shown a lot, hasn't it, over the last couple of weeks, because obviously we've gone down 10 years and all that. But just seeing like Ryan was still there, obviously, and the joy in all the fans' faces have been on the pitch in promotion. I thought I was starting to crawl out of this sort of like glum feeling, but just this chat now's sinking me back into it.
There you go. Right, let's get on to the people's questions that can hopefully cheer us up. Probably won't, but you never know. Jay Cole, why is he like fit? Why is he first response? Jake, we don't want to answer your questions, but he says if the best case scenario happened next year and we went straight back up, how would you prefer it to happen? Playoffs and a day at Wembley, or league champions pissing it like Wolves?
League champions pissing it like Wolves.
Yeah, 100%.
All day, every day.
I would not want to go through the nerves and the drama of the playoffs.
It'd be just amazing to be that much better than other teams. To go into away games with being a bit cocky and confident of a win. Yeah, all day.
I think we've had this question before, but Martin Eagles says if you were to send a plane with a banner over Vale Park next season, what would it say?
Have you finished the stand yet?
Yes, that's what they said. Because obviously the plane went over at the weekend whilst there was no game on.
I truly think they got the game wrong. That must have reflected worse on Vale, because I'm convinced they got the wrong day.
Well, I think I've read a report.
Wrong ground.
And apparently they used the same person as they was sending a message over the Emirates for goodbye Orson or farewell Mercy Orson.
He
was double booked on the Saturday. So they said, we can do the Saturday after, and they just said, yeah, all right then. I mean, even Tom Pope, Vale strikers, come on and said that was an embarrassing.
That was funny.
And when your own forward's saying it, shit.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's have a look. Andy Slee says, in a large field, who was the worst signing of the last 2 seasons?
In a large...
I've got no idea why it's in a large field.
Either way, it's Kevin Vimmer.
Yeah, 100%.
Next question, yeah.
100%.
Wash out.
At Vintage Fuller says, which academy prospects are you most excited to see next season? I'd want to see more of Lasse Sorensen now.
Yeah, I mean...
I didn't even have him in my head as a contender, but after Saturday I have.
I mean, if I'm totally honest, Campbell doesn't look ready from what I've seen. I'm not saying he's not going to be ready, but I've struggled to see much to suggest that he's there yet. He might get there. But yeah, Sorensen putting a good ball.
I think I'm going to have to say Sorensen and Verlinden.
I've not seen... Verlinden's just been floating for ages. I don't
been
know.
at St. Pauli last.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's... I don't know. I mean, I don't go watching it that often with the youth stuff. I'm not really sure. I'm in the best position to answer that, to be honest.
Harvey Todd says, great podcast, guys. Cheers, Harvey. Keeps me entertained whilst I'm on my paper round. If any Stoke player in our current squad could drive you around a track in an F1 car at full speed, who would you choose? What a question.
I think it would have to be Kevin Vimmer, because I think he'd be steady. He'd be slow and cumbersome and you wouldn't crash.
But you'd want to spend time with him.
Well, I don't know what he's like personally as a bloke, but he's very laboured. And the way he turns in the box would lead me to feel a bit more confident in a Formula 1 car that it wouldn't crash. That's a sly dig.
I'm going to
via
say
the medium that question. Very young.
Just because I think it'd be a lovely Sunday stroll. Wouldn't be that fast. It'd just make me have a good time. I think he'd look after me.
Yeah.
Jonesy says, big Sam or Moyes. Now, if you're watching the podcast now, by the time this goes out, there should be a video up on the YouTube channel. Me and Craig have discussed Moyes and Big Sam, but to give it a quick answer, Big Sam for both of us.
Yeah.
Out of those two.
Definitely, yeah.
Out of those two. Liam Sharp says, did you know we are the first club to win the Uran Cup and then get relegated in the same season?
To win the what? Oh, right.
The Uran Cup.
Oh, yeah. Glory days, weren't they?
The glory,
Magical
back
times.
in the glory days.
Magical
out
times.
in Germany.
Yeah.
Was it Germany? Was Germany one?
I don't know. I've God knows. Yeah, whatever, maybe.
Let's have a look. What else is there? Nathan at the Brutal Sniper says, would you take Alexander Mitrovic next season if you could? 100%. 100%.
Yeah, why not? Why not? We'd have not.
I mean, he's been smashing men for Fulham.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go back up there and then...
Yeah, it all depends what Fulham do, of course. And Fulham's a reasonably solid club in a lot of senses. It'd be difficult to tempt him, but...
he also says, P.S. you both do a great job this season on the Bear Pit. Thanks.
That's nice.
Joe at Eterno Veloce says, top 5 games of the Premier League era.
Good question, that. I always feel...
6-1 Liverpool.
Yeah. Man City away when we won 1-0. I was on like a stag do that day and it was just amazing.
Everton 4-3.
Everton 4-3 away was unbelievable,
Man U won Man City at home. One of those. The 2-0 win. I'm going to put...
Yeah, the Man City at home 2-0.
Yeah.
And then you've got to put that Villa first season up, the Mammoth last minute.
Mammoth,
yeah, you just got to kick it all off, didn't it?
We'll say those 5.
Off the top of Reds, then 5.
Off the top of Reds. Liam Stokey says, Laurel or Yanni. I don't know if you'll know what this means, Craig.
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to test you. So this has become viral today. So this is a sound clip that's going around. and people hear one of 2 things. So you either hear Laurel or you hear Yanni. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm going to play it for you.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
What are the options?
Laurel or Yanni?
Laurel. Laurel. Laurel.
I'm hearing...
Laurel. Laurel.
Well, Yanni. I'm hearing like Yermi, but Yanni's the closest, definitely.
That's what I hear, but there's plenty.
There's no Laurel in that.
No, there's plenty of other people that think it's Laurel.
No, I'm not Laurel. No,
I'm not pulling your pisser. No. Let us know what you heard in the comments, because I'm a Yanni, Craig's a Yanni, my girlfriend's a Yanni, everyone I've shown it to, who I've been with in the room, has said Yanni, but I've put it in like WhatsApp groups and people say Laurel.
It's like that dress. Remember that dress? Is it white or blue or
black
whatever
and
it
gold.
was? Yeah.
Or black and blue, sorry. let's have a look. I think we've covered the majority of these questions about Allardyce or whoever else it was. TD Ward, I remember this question coming in, I thought we've got to answer that. How many 6-year-olds could you defend yourself against before their sheer numbers overpowered you? What a question.
How aggressive are they? Are they looking to kill?
They're just after you, yeah. Defend yourself. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm thinking about like kicking and...
I reckon...
I'm going to say 7.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 to 8 would overpower you. I think it was 6 is just enough to keep them at bay for a reasonable amount of time.
Like roundhouse kicks.
Yeah.
Taking as many out as you can in one game.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Great question. Yeah. Great question. Richard Cherrington, should we go back in for Flores?
No, I don't see the point.
No. Caleb Allport says, if a statue was to be built of a Stoke player from our Premier League era, who would it be and why? I think it's Ryan, easy.
Yeah, I was going to say Fulham, of course, it's Ryan. Yeah. We might want a Ricky as well, but Ryan's number one choice there.
Owen Bloor says, if you could bring back 3 old school Stoke players when they were at their top, who would it be? Fuller. How old school are we going? Can I say Gordon Banks? Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Gordon Banks, Matthews.
Say Stan.
Yeah, Stanley Matthews. And then just for my era, Fuller. I love him.
Easy. Nath Jackson says, would you bring Bojan back and build a team around him?
That's a really interesting question. I don't know where on earth Bojan stands now. It looks like he's keen to come back. My first thought is, would he compete in the Championships aggressively?
If he is all for playing in the Championship, I say yes.
Yeah.
Build a team around him. Give him paella in the change rooms. Do whatever the fuck he wants. Get him back. He will boss the Championship.
I think he would. And I think it would lift Stoke to see him back. And not back to them glory years. Get him back.
Get him back.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Let's see. Is there any more decent questions before we go? Lee Davis says, is the club going to actually make a statement on the current situation regarding the manager, or haven't they got a clue what to do? Time is ticking, and the managers have been sacked already for doing loads better than our current manager.
It's true again, isn't it? You know, Everton and West Ham have, for right or wrong, that they've acted on their gut instincts. We again seem to be dawdling a little bit.
I don't know. Water.
I don't know.
In the managerial plane.
They must be waiting to see if something occurs. And if we don't act in the next week with Allardyce and Moyes available, it worries me even more. I want either a commitment to Lambert, stick or twist. We've got to do it. We can't piss about.
Got to do one.
Been here before.
Got to do one or the other. Favourite question of the week?
I like the one about Bojan, and I like the one about memories of the Prem, because it was a happy time. So I'm going to go with the memories of the Prem.
Okay, I'm going to go with the one about how many 6-year-olds you could defend yourself against.
That was different, yeah.
it was certainly different. Before we do go, obviously there's no games coming up now. This is the last podcast.
This is it now. We're not doing like a season review. Well, it was shit, wasn't it?
Nah.
F.
What do you review?
Just shit. Yeah.
This is the season review. We've done it. It was crap. We're down. But there's a couple of things to cover off before we do go. First off, whoever follows the social media pages closely will have seen we put out an advert for some interns.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah, saw that. We're just looking for some people to help out with the social media, Photoshop, video editing, whatever it might be. Maybe even on-screen stuff, if that's your bag. So do drop an email to contact@thebearpittv.com if you are interested in that at all. We've had plenty of responses already, but just in case you haven't seen or heard. Secondly, the caps. Got one on my head right now. You might have seen internet celebrity Lawrence McKenna wearing one all weekend on the kickoff show, which I was on as well, where I watched Stoke play Swansea. These will be on sale at some point. I think we've also given a percentage of the profits to charity just to do something good in the world, to make something good happen out of this relegation.
Yeah.
So I think we'll do that at some point. Also, going to be out in Russia, of course, for this World Cup.
You are. I'm so jealous.
I am.
I'm so jealous.
Not Craig. So let us know what content you'd like to see from Russia. Because I'm going to be out there. Obviously, we're going to take a little bit of a break over the next few weeks and into the summer. I'm going to be out in Russia. What videos do you want to see? I plan on doing some.
I want to see you take on the Russian fans.
In a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be...
You versus a load of 6-year-old Russian fans.
Get some views.
It would.
It'd get some views.
Wearing that hat as well.
Wearing this hat.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm pretty worried about wearing this hat in places like that, because before people got close and read it, especially if they can't read English, it was like a Donald Trump hat.
Yeah.
Obviously, what we're taking the piss out of with these caps, but I don't want to get my head kicked in. That's what I'm trying to avoid in Russia.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what video ideas and potentially podcasts by myself or speaking to some fans. I've got no fucking clue. I'll make something up.
You find a Stokey. That's my challenge to you. Actually, find as many Stokies as you can, and do a little montage. 1 second, 10 second.
1 second. That'd be some video.
Do a 10-second review of the season with as many Stoke fans as you can, and see how long you can stretch this video out for, and just have loads of Stokies giving a blast of a review. That's my challenge for you now.
Good idea.
It feels quite sad, this, podcast
like
finishing.
Saying goodbye. I'm waving at the camera for those of you who don't watch on YouTube.
It does feel a bit morbid.
But that is the Bear Pit Pod, the last of the season. Season 2,
Stoke
episode 32 or 31?
I don't know.
33? The listeners will know, we don't.
In a shit season.
Make sure you go and give it a like on Acast, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review if you've enjoyed this all season. We're going to be back next season. We might have some specials planned over the summer. We might have been speaking to some Stoke players. You might have already seen on Twitter, so fuck you if you not already know what I'm on about. But yeah, there's going to be some stuff happening over the summer. Obviously the World Cup as well. But that is the Bear Pit Pod 2017-18 season out.